Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of MS Music Reviews. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Music Reviews. We got Stavion
And we got
Yo. Alright, sorry, one more time. It's only been a minute. Okay.
Snort.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of MS Music Reviews. We got Michael and we got
Stavion.
Today we got a very nice treat in the queue. We got Joji slow dancing in the dark. Now take it away.
All right. I liked this song. I am usually not very I guess picky when it comes to songs. So I mean, it's one of those, like, if I'm with my girlfriend and it's like, you know, the mood is right type thing, you know, I turn a song, maybe slow dance and maybe, you know, get into other things, if you know what I'm talking about. You know, it's nice, it's simplistic, it's got the good pacing going for it. Like, it's just a great pace. And like when he gets to those climactic moments, no pun intended, when he gets into those climactic moments where he's like belting, I think, you know, his strong vocals really do carry it. I have like one gripe with it, and that's like, I feel like, I don't know, I think it's the chords. They're a little too loud, just a smidge.
And by chords, you're talking about those high, like those loud, like
the
yeah.
Those, like that the chords is kind of loud. Like, I don't. Well, I mean, obviously I didn't sing the chords because I only could sing one note. But whatever. Like, the chords was a little loud, so I was like, but like, outside of that, like, I think it was really well done. So what's your take on it?
Okay, so first impressions, I think it's a really good song. Vocals do carry when they're heard, and that's probably going to be my one gripe. Same with him. Those chords, those big humming instruments where they come in smooth, come in low where they should be, and then they get louder and louder, which is fine up until the point it gets so loud that when Joji hits those high notes, those high soft notes, you don't even know what he's saying. And that's technically my biggest gripe, and something he should have taken into account for future mixes. But, you know, if you have the lyrics, no problem. But if you're listening to this for the first time, or maybe you just never even paid attention to the high notes, you're never gonna know what he said, basically.
I agree with that, actually. Like, I was thinking that, but then I was like, maybe that's just me, cause like some of the times, because I'm listening to everything, like, I don't necessarily pay attention to what they're saying. But some of the times when I try to focus in on what they're saying and I can't figure it out, that's normally when I'm like, maybe they should have went back and tried some things a little different.
Exactly.
But I mean, I think personally, he can get away with not being understood because it was performed so well, right? So the reason, well, one, like we established already, his vocals are really good. Joji, in my opinion, has a great voice, but I think that kind of don't matter because of the amount of emotion that's going into it. So I think it kind of plays into what he's doing, because when you're emotional, you don't always make rational, logical sense. So, you know, he could technically play it off like that, but I don't know if it's just a me thing, but like, I kind of don't really care in this instance.
Okay.
And I know this sounds dumb, but I don't really care that I can't really understand him, primarily because the heavy emotion is there. And when he's singing kind of lower in the lower notes, in the lower areas, it doesn't tend to be not like I can still kind of understand him in those moments. It's just when he goes to those higher belty parts is when like all kind of pronunciation is out the window. But I would venture to say I think that is okay. I would cut him some slack on that, primarily because everything else we performed that well. And also, before I turn it over, I got to say one last thing. I would like to say the levels on this song, impeccable. Like, it starts off kind of, kind of quiet, kind of mellow,
soft and somber.
Yeah. And his voice kind of reflects this.
Yes.
Like it, and then it builds over time, and then he gets to that climactic moment where it's like he's like belting his heart out, singing his heart out, and everything gets really loud. And I think though this is why I was talking about the chords earlier. I think that because the chords were so loud in that quiet section, it kind of took away from that just a little bit. So I would have turned the chords down slightly, ever so slightly, so they didn't stick out as much. But
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. So
okay, so when I was trying to listen to the vocals and I was trying to get the story behind the song, it just sounds like a really nice, nonchalant love song where he loves someone, but he has to let them go for her better interest, and he's struggling with the aftermath. And that's what it seems to me, though I could be wrong in certain instances or be missing something just because some of the vocals were, in my case, drowned out by the chords. But overall, I think this story was pretty good. Sure, it's nothing too groundbreaking or hugely, how should you put it?
Complicated? Complex?
Yes. Not too complex, not too new, not too experimental. It's tried and true, but the way he executed it, his voice, that emotion, that's impeccable. That's what, for me, and probably for you most likely, because you just said so, carries the entire song. And I know it's a little bit early, but I think the mixing was done really well up until the chords, and I think when he started playing with his vocals at the end and starting to add those, what would you call them, the more complex syllables.
What?
I'm trying to figure out the term for it, where he's able to like do the same word, sing the same word, but cut it up and sing it out in a different manner.
You mean like I don't know, like it was like the like the I don't know what you're talking about.
Just that. Okay. What would you call that?
I don't know. I don't know the technical name for it, which
okay.
is sad because I went to school for this, but I don't know the technical name.
Because the word I would put is osculating, just because it kind of goes oscillating. And comes back. Yeah.
Oscillating.
Kind of like a fan.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the correct terminology, but I get the picture you trying to paint.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
When he did that, it was very incredible. I really appreciate it. And it didn't seem like it was adding too much to the song, where it just made it seem like, you know what, maybe it's too much, maybe you should have slowed down or cut it out. No, I think everything just fit well. What would you give it a rating?
As far as a rate, I would say like, I'm going to go with like 7.5 actually. I'm going to go with 7.5. It's a really good song. It's really good. Simplistic in nature, but I think the simplicity is what makes it pretty. Well executed, well rounded. I think the only thing holding it back from being, like a 9, like an 8 or 9 will be, like you said, some of the vocals drowned out. But I I would just venture to say that there isn't enough new ideas in there. Like it is like once you hear the first half of the song, or the first like the verse to the chorus, once you hear that, you pretty much heard the whole thing. So I mean, like, maybe mix it up a little bit in different parts, and I think he tried to do that with a little, I guess, oscillation, you want to say.
Yeah,
but like yeah, that was only really at the end. Like, he didn't really do much of that in between, you know, from the first chorus to the end. He didn't do much of that in between. So I think the lack of complexity is a good and a bad thing
in this case.
Like it's very pretty because it's simplistic, but it's also simplistic, so I can't give it a really high rating.
Okay.
So that's what I would say. I think it's really well mixed. I think it's really well sung, well executed. The levels was great, but yeah. What about you now?
Okay. I'm gonna have to give this one, after hearing a little bit of his explanation and something that I forgot to add into it, I'm gonna give it a little bit higher. I'm gonna give it an 8. Reason and case being, it deserves an 8 for the simple reason that even though the mixing could have been better, that's not too bad since the execution was flawless, the amount of skill and the simplicity was nice. But at the end, something that I really appreciate, when you do a song like this, a lot of them seem to drag out at the end and just kind of overplay the instrumental just to give you like something to kind of like softly land on and just be like, ah yes, this is a nice heartfelt song. This song, I don't know what
demon time he was on,
he decided to just end it right then and there and cut it off. Last vocal, last instrumental, boom, snap, done. You're out. Next to the next song. Like, holy cow, that improved the feeling, just because it just picks you up. It takes you to this highest place, like to this very high place, and then just drops you. It just says, there you go. There's the song. And you know what? That left more of an impression than it just fading out into non-existence. So I appreciate it. 8 out of 10. Good song.
I like that. I like that idea. It is solid. It's a solid song. Overall, it's a solid song. I enjoy it. It's probably something I put in my, like, you know, sexy time playlist. But oh my.
I'm gonna put it in my for the homies playlist.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry.
Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. As always, we're gonna bring you more better content in the future. Bye bye.
Okay.